Now at 5 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, shots fired at a Dallas immigration facility leaves victims dead. What we know. Plus, Camp Mystic's reopening plans are sparking mixed reaction from victims' families. And Victoria's Alzheimer's Walk aims to make a difference. The event details coming up.
The long-awaited cold front is about to come through. Already we're picking up some thunder shower activity. You can probably hear it. It's raining here in downtown as well. But this is going to continue through the night until the front moves all the way south. That'll be tomorrow. We'll have all the weather details on when and how coming up in a moment.
Plus, a major project begins to protect our fragile coastline at the Aransas Wildlife Refuge. You're watching 25 News now at 5. Good afternoon and thanks for being with us. I'm Shawna Currie. Well, thunderstorms are headed our way. Actually, they just arrived and we are hearing that thunder roll. So let's go to Chief Meteorologist Mac Perez for a first look at what we can expect through this evening and really overnight into tomorrow. Mac.
You bet. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Yes, the stormy weather is just about to roll through the city of Victoria. We've got heavy rain here at this very moment on North Navarro. We're looking at this activity to be sort of with us for the next couple of hours until after midnight. Now, after midnight, we'll get more sporadic, but we will still see rain overnight. Temperatures have dropped already because of the rainfall. We haven't really had a chance to measure the rain just yet, but the weather alert day continues before tonight and tomorrow morning. And by tomorrow morning, all this pulls away as that frontal system will continue dropping southward to the Rio Grande Valley. Behind it, Thursday afternoon and on into the weekend, you're going to like the forecast. So we'll have more details on the stormy weather that we expect for most of tonight coming up in just a few minutes. Shawna, back to you.
2 people are dead, 1 more injured after police say a gunman opened fire at the Dallas ICE field office this morning. Police say the gunman died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound, and now authorities say this is being investigated as a targeted attack. ABC's Rena Roy has more on the evidence officials say they have uncovered.
Investigators seen searching the roof of a building in Dallas, Texas, where they believe a shooter was perched this morning, opening fire on an Immigration and Customs Enforcement field office. The FBI releasing new images showing an unspent shell casing engraved with the phrase anti-ICE.
I can confirm at this time that the FBI is investigating this incident as an act of targeted violence.
Authorities say a gunman opened fire just before 7 a.m. local time, shooting 3 detainees, one of them dead, the other 2 in critical condition. This photo appears to show bullet holes in an American flag display. The Department of Homeland Security saying the shooter fired indiscriminately, including at a van where the victims were shot.
While we're not releasing identities of any victims at this time, what I can confirm for you is no members of law enforcement were hurt during this attack.
Just be advised, it's still active shooter. There's a snuffer on the roof.
This 61-year-old woman named Mayra says she was at the facility for a routine check-in when she heard about 20 shots ring out. Security screaming at everyone to get down for safety before the building went on lockdown. The acting director of ICE, Todd Lyons, telling ABC News the field office is where they bring detainees for processing after being taken into custody.
So it's a secure location, but it's not covered. And that's where I think the shots came in from an elevated position down into the location.
ICE has been increasing deportation efforts across the country. ICE officials say attacks and threats on ICE offices are up 1,000% since January.
There was a bomb threat almost to the day where an individual came up claiming that he had a bomb strapped to him in August. And just in July, we had officers and agents ambushed about 40 minutes away in Alvarado, Texas, by a group with military-style weapons on July 4th.
Officials are saying that security has now been ramped up at ICE facilities across the country, including at a large outsourced ICE facility in Southern California. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Rockport Fulton schools had an increased police presence today after a threat. That threat involved an unknown male believed to be in the Houston area, referencing the high school. Law enforcement later found the threat to not be credible, but out of caution, campuses were closed to visitors for the day and law enforcement was on alert. District leaders are thanking the students who quickly reported the concern. A longtime Victoria County judge is seeking another term. Judge Dan Gilliam has announced plans to run for re-election to County Court at Law number 2 in the 2026 Republican primary. He has served the community for 15 years and brings nearly 4 decades of legal experience. On the bench, he has presided over more than 100 jury trials and helped lead school safety efforts statewide. Judge Gilliam says expanding programs like the county's award-winning DWI court and continuing work on mental health initiatives remain top priorities if he is re-elected. The Lavaca County Elections Department is announcing its second biannual I Voted and Future Voter sticker design contest. The contest is open to all Lavaca County students from pre-K through 12th grade. To read the full story, come to crossroadstoday.com. Camp Mystic in the Texas Hill Country will reopen next summer, nearly a year after last July's deadly flooding claimed the lives of 27 campers and counselors. Owners say several rebuilding projects are underway, with cabins being moved out of floodplains and new safety protocols in place under recently passed state laws. Leaders also announced plans for a memorial to honor the victims, though some parents say they are upset that they were not consulted about it. Governor Greg Abbott has appointed Amy Blanchette to the Calhoun Port Authority Board. Her term will last until the new at-large commissioner elected in May 2027 is qualified. Blanchette is from Point Comfort and works in communications at Formosa Plastics. She's active locally, serving on boards for the Calhoun County Chamber of Commerce, United Way of Calhoun County, and the Sportsmen's for Charity Club. She's also involved with the Downtown Waterfront Master Plan and the Rotary Club of Port Lavaca. Blanchette holds a bachelor's in international studies from Texas A&M University. The Coastal Bend Bays and Estuaries program is stepping in to protect one of our most fragile coastlines. At Aransas National Wildlife Refuge, crews will soon build a breakwater just offshore to calm the waves rolling across San Antonio Bay. This project aims to slow erosion at Dagger Point, a bluff where water has been eating away the coastline and even toppling old oak trees. Construction begins in October and should wrap up in about 9 months. Refuge leaders say visitor access will not be affected during the project. The 2025 Victoria Alzheimer's Walk is just a few weeks away. Organizers hope that you will make this annual event a success. Marissa Ford, the manager of the Alzheimer's Walk Victoria, says this year's is 1.75 miles long and will take place on the Texas A&M Victoria campus on Saturday, October 4th. It starts at 9 a.m. and I will be there emceeing the event again this year. Ford invites everyone to come out and be part of this important event.
But please come out and participate. We need your support. There's so many new resources and treatments that are now available for Alzheimer's that they're not here in the Coastal Bend yet or in the Victoria area yet, but we're bringing them to you, and we need your support to get that to happen.
Ford says the goal this year is to raise $70,000 to be used locally for Alzheimer's research, education, and resources. Ford says they're about 50% of that goal has been reached so far, and she's hoping the walk will be able to reach this year's goal. So here is our viewer poll for tonight. Have you or a loved one ever participated in an Alzheimer's awareness event? And 89% say no, you have not participated in an event. So if you'd like to, you can make plans to attend this event the first Saturday in October. 11% say that yes, they have participated. We want to hear from you. Visit crossroadstoday.com/vote, and we'll have another look at the numbers coming up at 6. Here are some of the top headlines in the Port Lavaca wave. Calhoun County ISD approves a budget with an almost $3.94 million deficit. And a Seadrift homeowner has chosen an alternative material for part of its construction. To read these stories and more, go to portlavacawave.com. The De Leon Club of Victoria is inviting the community to celebrate National Hispanic Heritage Month. The annual Hispanic Heritage Celebration takes place Thursday, September 25th at Texas A&M University Victoria. The evening begins with hors d'oeuvres at 6:30, followed by entertainment and a program presentation. This year's honorees include Mr. Joe Garcia, Miss Amanda Martinez, and Victoria County Commissioner Danny Garcia. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Stay with us. Straight ahead on 25 News Now at 5. Elevated lead levels prompt an expanded baby food recall, the specific products to avoid. And your zip code could determine your cancer survival chances. The rural-urban divide revealed. Sprout Organics is expanding its recall of baby food pouches over concerns about elevated lead levels. The recall now covers more lots of the 3.5-ounce sweet potato, apple, and spinach pouches sold at Walgreens, independent stores in several states, and online. It includes Best Buy dates of October 29th and 30th and December 4th of this year and February 4th of next year. No other Sprout Organics products are affected and no illnesses have been reported. Customers can return the pouches for a full refund. A new study suggests your produce might be exposing you to more pesticides than you think. The environmental working group, known for the Dirty Dozen and Clean 15 lists, compared USDA testing with human urine samples. They found the more high pesticide fruits and vegetables people ate, the more pesticides showed up in their bodies. Experts say you can limit exposure by buying organic when possible, washing produce carefully, and choosing items with lower pesticide levels. A new Cleveland Clinic study suggests your genes could play a big role in how well weight loss drugs work. Researchers looked at variations in a gene called neurobeachin and created a scoring system. They found people with a responsive score were up to 82% more likely to lose significant weight on a GLP-1 medication. Those with a non-responsive score were much less likely to see results. Doctors say it could eventually help tailor treatments, but more research is still needed.
With some additional work and future studies, maybe taking this score that we developed with this gene, combining it with other lifestyle factors, other personal factors, maybe other aspects of your genetics, we can start to tailor the intervention that we use for patients with obesity to make sure that the treatment that they receive is most likely to work for them.
The doctor says as part of their ongoing research, they plan to look into other genes that could also be playing a role with weight loss and GLP-1s. More Americans are surviving cancer. Right now, about 1 in 18 people in the U.S. is a cancer survivor, and that number is expected to keep growing thanks to better treatments and screenings. But a new study finds where you live may also play a role in survival. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither explains how something researchers call ZNA could impact cancer outcomes.
First, some good news. The overall cancer death rate in the U.S. dropped 34% between 1991 and 2022, averting about 4.5 million deaths. But the bad news, not everyone is seeing this shift in their battle against cancer.
Where people live can determine whether they live from cancer, and not by a small amount.
In a new study from the American Cancer Society, researchers say the overall 5-year cancer survival rates for each stage of cancer were lower in rural areas for both Black and white U.S. residents, which means your odds of surviving cancer aren't only based on biology, says Dr. Arif Kamal.
This study is now speaking to the importance of someone's ZNA, their zip code, right? As we might think about someone's DNA, this idea that where you live and its location and distance from highly specialized care, including clinical trials, can determine whether you live from cancer.
Kamal says the first step in closing the gap is to be aware that there is one and that rural residents may not have access to specialized services like radiation or to surgeons experienced in treating their specific disease.
So that means that people are, instead of having to go to cancer care, that cancer care is coming to them. And this looks like a lot of different forms. Smaller cancer centers throughout the country, even home-based cancer care delivery show a lot of promise in how we can close this gap.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Dr. Kamal says the American Cancer Society and other organizations help provide lodging and transportation services to residents who do not live close to a healthcare program that provides high quality care. So that distance is not the barrier that people face. In Bangkok, a massive sinkhole opened right in front of a hospital, shutting down traffic and utilities in the area. The sinkhole stretches nearly 900 square meters and plunges about 50 meters deep. Video on social media shows the road sinking as water gushes from a drainage pipe, even pulling down power poles. The hospital stopped taking patients as crews rushed in to stabilize the site. Officials say the collapse is tied to a subway construction underground. Luckily, no one was hurt. Here are some of the top headlines in the Cuero Record. Plow Day in Yorktown goes on despite dry conditions. And Cuero's downtown artisan market on Main gets a $1,000 grant. To read these stories and more, visit DeWittCountyToday.com.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. You probably hear the thunder and maybe see the lightning out there. The big stormy weather is rolling through the crossroads right now. Our current temperature has dropped down to 80 degrees from what we were about 94 this afternoon. And then, of course, the clouds rolled in, 96 actually. So far, we haven't picked up anything at the rain gauge, but that's just the beginning because this activity is going to go on pretty much all night long. We'll talk more about how much rain to expect and when it's over coming up in just a few minutes. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We still have an alert day flag up because through the night we're going to get some stormy weather into tomorrow morning. Right now for all Crossroads area, we're looking for heavy rainfall, 2 to 4 inches. Okay, and then possibly wind gusts up to 50 miles an hour as the storm lines move through. The frontal system is just to the north of us. In fact, San Antonio and Austin already have north winds, so we're just waiting for that to roll down here. And not that it's going to get cold or anything, but it will be cooler. But the difference between the two air masses is what's causing all this rumble and thunder out there. The frontal system will continue moving through our area overnight, and then by tomorrow should be down to Corpus Christi, possibly even Brownsville. That's when we start to see the clearing and some very nice weather behind it. You're going to like it, believe me. This is attached, the front is attached to this low, which is producing all of the nasty weather. It's going to be rolling to the east coast. may have something to do with the hurricanes out there. Area of low pressure bringing unusual rainfall to Southern California. Well, here we are right about there, and you notice how the line just picks up right there. So this is like the latest image, and you can see the heaviest stuff is along 59 right almost, well, from Inez to Edna, where they've got the heaviest rain at this very moment. But again, all this is dropping southward, and more will develop overnight because, as you can see, more impulses are coming in from the north, which will come in and destabilize the atmosphere and continue us being on the wet side. So far, most of the rain has been to the north of the city, right about here, possibly up to 1 inch there, and up to over an inch here in the Edna area, and then right on up the 59 as well. So yes, they've got some good ones. Now earlier we had thunderstorms that developed along the coast and started moving northbound. These sort of collided together, and that's why they're pretty interesting as they roll around out there. Lots of stuff going on in the Atlantic. First of all, Gabrielle. Remember Gabrielle turned around? It turned around so sharply that it's now aimed at Portugal. That's very unusual. They usually fall apart in the northern Atlantic, but there it goes. Now, Umberto was born today. This is the next tropical storm. You can see its path is taking it very close to the east coast. This will be Imelda by tomorrow, and that will, I'm pretty sure it's going to skirt through the Carolinas, so I'm hoping that they're watching this very carefully. Meanwhile, we have Narda on the Pacific coast of Mexico, as you can see here, and the storm is forecast to move out, strengthen a little bit, and then turn and then fall apart right here. What does that mean? Well, eventually, some of that moisture is going to cross North America, and we're in North America, so we may have to be dealing with that. Let's look at Future Tracker. Stormy weather over us right now. We go to 8 o'clock tonight, stormy weather will spread south. We go through midnight. You can see how the weather is still unsettled over the region. We go into 1 a.m. on Thursday, and you can see we're still on the stormy weather. So I'm telling you, it's going to be raining most of the night. Here we are at 2 in the morning, still have stormy weather around us. And by 6 a.m. on Thursday, we start to see a little bit of a pull out. So that by the time we get to maybe 9 o'clock or noon, we should be seeing clearing. The rest of Thursday is going to be very nice, but the morning hours may have some flooding problems to deal with if you're going out early in the morning before sunrise. You do watch out for the low water crossings and the streams and creeks that might be full because of the overnight rain. So thunder showers expected in the morning, all in Port Lavaca. Then we clear up nicely and only have a high of 86. It's a good 10-degree drop. Cuero, we've got stormy weather overnight, and then in the afternoon we go partly cloudy with a high of about 86. So we go from stormy weather tonight through tomorrow morning. Then it clears up for the rest of Thursday, and boy, are you going to like this weekend. Low humidity, sunny skies, cool nights, and very pleasantly sunny, mild days. Oh yes, fall has finally arrived. We'll toss it, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that, put Crossroads Today on your phone. And here's Shawna.
Right, looking forward to some cooler temperatures for sure, but first we have to get through the rain. Well, still to come, steak night is becoming too expensive for many families. What they're buying instead. It was a down day for stocks in Wednesday trading. The Dow dropped 172 points, the S&P 500 dipped 19 points, and the Nasdaq down 76 points. The price of oil jumped $1.58 to $64.99 per barrel. Many Americans are getting settled in new neighborhoods. Sales of newly built single-family homes unexpectedly surged by nearly 21% last month. That's according to government data. It's the highest level new home sales have hit since January 2022. It also far exceeded most predictions from economists. Analysts say this recent sales boom may have been bolstered by lower mortgage rates and aggressive efforts from home builders. But some economists say August's strong showing could be a one-month anomaly. Tariffs are hitting your wallet harder than you might think. A new survey of CFOs from Duke University and the Federal Reserve Banks of Richmond and Atlanta suggests inflation could have been about a third lower this year without President Trump's tariffs. Several major companies, including Walmart, Nike, Target, and Mattel, say the tariffs are forcing them to raise prices. CFOs estimate these tariffs could account for roughly a quarter of price increases in 2026. And beef prices are climbing nearly 14% higher than last August, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Kansas families say the rising costs are changing what's on the dinner table. Local producers report shoppers are stretching their dollars by choosing pork beef blends, chicken, or sticking to hamburger and roasts instead of pricier steaks. Part of the squeeze comes from fewer foreign beef imports. Brazilian beef faces a 76% tariff. And the USDA recently suspended cattle crossings from Mexico over concerns about the screwworm parasite. Well, your childhood TV heroes are for sale. Coming up next, what it takes to own a piece of TV history.
Tonight, the breaking news, images from the scene, the deadly shooting at an ICE facility, multiple victims, the writing on the shell casings, plus President Trump's sudden shift on Ukraine, and tonight, Vladimir Putin responds. World News Tonight with David Muir is the most watched newscast in America.
Got some extra cash sitting around. You
Okay.
could own a piece of TV history. Up for auction starting October 24th are hundreds of costumes, props, and memorabilia from shows spanning the 1950s
Hogan's
to
Heroes.
the 70s.
No?
Not quite.
Not right?
It's Fonzie's leather jacket from Happy Days.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yes, so that'll be up for auction along with original Batman and Robin costumes from the 1960s show, Star Trek uniforms worn by Kirk and Spock, even Wonder Woman's costume. All the items come from a private collection, and bidding kicks off with some pieces at $15,000. So, you know, just some spare change hanging around.
But it's iconic stuff. Look at that.
Yeah.
Fonzie's jacket. You could be wearing it going, hey, what can I, you know.
Happy Days.
Doing the hair thing.
Yeah.
You know? I would, if I wanted something, I would want 007's tuxedo, the white tuxedo.
Ooh,
I wonder if I would look as good. That's the question there.
I don't know,
Probably not, but it would look good on, on
We
that.
need a rain jacket right now.
Well, right now that would be even better, right? But I don't know about $15,000. But you could use a jacket tonight, folks, because the stormy weather is going to be with us overnight through tomorrow morning. By 7 a.m., maybe even 9 a.m., most of the rain will start pulling out of here, and we should start settling out the day. Next few days are going to be very nice. Fall weather, low humidities, and very comfortable nights to enjoy.
All right, nothing cold yet, but
Not
just
really
nice
cold,
and cool.
but cooler.
All right, we'll see you back at